Alright, Ranger Academy issue 5. Now last month there was no issue of Ranger Academy. The comic took a month off, but it did release its first trade back volume, which contained issues 1 to 4, I believe. And you can get that now on Amazon or at your local comic book store. So if you want to read Ranger Academy and trade back, the option is there. But yeah, we've got Ranger Academy issue 5, and it picks up where last month's, or I say, 2 months ago left off on, where Sage had just gotten her ability the morph. She lied to her friends, and this issue was mostly Sage sort of having that self-doubt if she wonders if she's worthy enough of being a ranger, because she has a lot of doubt. She doubts her abilities to be a ranger, she doubts why she's at Ranger Academy, and she doesn't know why she's here to begin with. She sort of snuck aboard for this great adventure, and now she feels like she's over her head, because you've got her other friends, one of them didn't become a ranger, and then you've got all the other characters around her, they became rangers and stuff like that. But then again, this issue, although it was sort of Sage sort of moping to herself and trying to figure out what she wants to do next, there was some pretty cool stuff with this issue. One of them being the Holo Simulator trainer, where you get to see Tula morph into the Red Ranger, and she ends up fighting a hologram version of Goldar, which was pretty cool, because again, this is like another callback that Ranger Academy does do. You see a lot of classic characters and villains who make appearances in Ranger Academy, and it's really cool to have, like, well, of course the school would have this, but you've got this hologram training and they fight against these iconic Power Ranger villains, and Goldar was one of them that showed up. So again, I do wonder whereabouts does Ranger Academy take place in the Power Rangers timeline, because if they can fight holograms of Goldar, is there other villains that will come into play, like villains from the Disney era, villains from the Neo-Saban era, villains from the Hasbro era? Will we see villains from that era of Power Rangers show up as well? Possibly, because, you know, Ranger Academy, it takes place in this weird in-between pocket dimension, because they can pull, I don't want to say pocket dimension, well, they can pull people from like all different sort of eras of time and space to give lectures to their class. But then again, we've also had moments in this series where you have Yale and Kruger just hanging out in the like teachers like lounge room and stuff like that. So we've got that going on for it. So yeah, there's that. But this issue is sort of, like I said, Sage being in self-doubt, wondering if she finds a place where she belongs. She goes through the student guidance counselor, which is another cougar race of people, and that's pretty cool to see. I do like it how they sort of like expand on the races of the Power Ranger lore and stuff like that, with all the different aliens showing up, where you see all these different aliens. I believe like that the last issue had someone from Trip's planet show up. They're attending the academy. But one of the interesting things that you do learn in this issue is once you discover what color you are, you can hang out in those colored dorms, like the red dorm, the black dorm, the yellow dorm, the pink dorm, etc., etc. They've got that going on, much like in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or Harry Potter, where you have your certain dorms for your certain colors going on. More of a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX thing, because, you know, you're hanging out in your colored dorms, but except with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, that was sort of based on a skill level where you were as a duelist to see where you'd be hanging out. So like Slifer Red or Cyrus Red was at the sort of bottom, or the failing students, and then you had Ra, which was the middle of the school, and then you had Obelisk, which was all like the top tier and sort of like the best ranking students there. So I don't think they'd be doing that for like a Power Ranger school, because, you know, everyone's equal here. No one's above the other unless you've got a bit of an ego. So I don't think they do that. I feel like each dorm would have each sort of like area that they have and what they'd be learning and stuff like that. Well, they'd be learning the same things. I guess each dorm has their own different aesthetics, which we've seen with some of the variant covers where you see all the different dorm rooms here and there. But the issue ends with Sage and Tula. They're sort of training. Tula notices something's up with Sage, and Sage wants to become stronger and wants Tula to train her so that way they can learn being a ranger and they can sort of find that confidence within themselves. So Sage is slowly picking herself back up, which is cool to see. We've had a lot of issues of Sage moping around and trying to figure out what she wants to do with herself, find a place where she belongs, but it looks like that now she's actually sort of putting her head back on and realizing what she wants to do. Now, spoilers, because I don't cover the solicitations for Ranger Academy that much on the channel, but spoilers, we have got solicitations for the next couple of issues where we find out that Dark Spectre is apparently coming. Dark Spectre's on his way, which is, yeah, he's like one of the most known, apart from Zen and Rita, one of the most well-known early bad guys in the Zordon era, and he's kind of a big threat in Darkest Hour, so an Academy out in space would make sense that Dark Spectre would try and sort of take it over, because, you know, grid energy, but it feels kind of weird because we've got, like, super duper big threat Dark Spectre in Darkest Hour, and now we've got Darkest Spectre showing up in Ranger Academy. It would pop me if this is sort of like what Dark Spectre got up to during Darkest Hour when he kept dimension hopping. That'd be crazy, but then again, if that was Dark Spectre we've got in Darkest Hour right now, then that Ranger Academy is probably going to be only lasting that issue when he shows up and then he leaves. But I get the feeling this is like classic in-space Dark Spectre look that we all know and love. Although I do love Vessel Dark Spectre's design as well when he takes over Zordon's body. That's a really cool design as well. But yeah, Dark Spectre's showing up, and apparently there's meant to be some sort of like school dance or parent-teacher day coming up in the next couple of issues, so we'll go with that. We'll have to wait and see. But Ranger Academy, as much as I criticize it, as much as a lot of people say that I'm just hate reading this right now, I'm not. I am slightly enjoying Ranger Academy, but it's sort of like a very slow build-up, and I feel like this is one of those comics that could probably do better once you read it in the trade-back form with how it flows together, probably. So, yeah, that was Ranger Academy issue 5. What did you guys think of this issue? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you still watching Ranger Academy? I think some of you guys still are, because the Ranger Academy reviews are still doing decently on the channel, which is good to see. So thank you so much for sticking around for the Ranger Academy reviews, where we're getting by very slowly. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this issue? Love it, hate it? Tell me in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, bye.